Facebook radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. Today's Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. 53 days into the new year, just 312 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? Tonight, it's Thursday. It is Fadernight without John Rappaport. He will be back next Thursday. Had a nice, long conversation with him today. Took a little time off. So, he will not be here with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Nah. So we're going to go right into it. Bottom of the hour, open lines all night long. Okay? Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple, at JChurchRadio. Come and hang out with us on Thursday nights. It is so busy on Twitter in the chat rooms. Oh, I didn't say good evening to everybody in the chat room, so I'm doing that now. Good evening, everybody. See, so now they're listening to the show, and then they get to see that pop up, and they know that I'm doing that live. Hey, how you guys doing? Hello to everybody out there on the bunker cam, and good evening. It's Thursday night, and it's a great night around here because I get to hang out with all of you and have conversations all night long. And so that's what we're going to do. Open up the phone lines here at the bottom of the hour, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Again, follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Facebook, YouTube. You know what to do. Just go follow, like, and subscribe. Head over to JimmyChurchRadio.com and click on those buttons right there. The sandbox, which is already jammed up tonight, is hashtag F2B on Twitter. The chat rooms are open over at KGRA, The Planet, and Spreaker. So you've got those chat rooms going for you. Everything is interactive. I've got them right up in front of me live. So you can do that too as well. Now, we use TweetDeck here. And I love it when I get the email. Okay, so I got Twitter because of you. Now what do I do? Well, what you want to do, you want to download TweetDeck. And if you need any assistance out there, if you need any help, our wonderful family here, the Fadernauts, will come to your rescue. All you have to do is tweet, hashtag F2B, hey, I'm a Fadernaut. I just got TweetDeck, or I need TweetDeck. I need help. I need to set this up. And we'll come in and straighten you right out. Okay? It's very simple. And once you get TweetDeck going, you will inevitably send me an email that is, dude, TweetDeck is the coolest thing ever. And that's what's going to happen. That's stage 2. Okay? And I love it. There's Frankie Four Fingers. Everybody starts tweeting the screenshots of their tweet deck. Everybody's so proud of it. John here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got six columns going in TweetDeck. I only do 4. I've got myself. I have hashtag F2B, hashtag F2BQ, and of course Rita. So those are the 4, and that's enough for me to handle right there, especially during the show. But that's what you should do, and then you can engage with everybody else and get inside of these conversations. It's awesome. TweetDeck will change your life. So go and get TweetDeck and come and hang out with us. Any questions or comments during the show tonight or any other night, use hashtag F2BQ, which is Fade to Black Questions. Like right now, Curtis, right now, literally says, is there a way to call in using Skype without using credits or dialing? You can. The Skype that I use for Thursday nights is Fade to Black 14. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you right now. It is Fade to Black 14. There it is. There's the Skype right there. Okay? Okay. Yeah, everybody's using, pretty much everything is just free minutes now, and it's only a 1 or 2 minute phone call. But if you don't want to dial in, I just found it easier over the years just to go with call-in numbers instead of Skype. But there you go. If you call in using Skype, you better have your sound perfect, because sometimes Skype can be a little dodgy, or you're using the speaker on your computer and your laptop, and you sound like this. You're like, hey, man, what's going on? It just doesn't sound good. If you have a headset microphone, nice USB headset microphone with Skype, you're in, you're done, you're dialed, and that's cool. But so just be aware of that, okay? Just make sure your sound is cool. So yeah, Fade to Black 14 if you want to Skype in. You can also email throughout the show. I get to as many as I can. I get a lot during the show, but just use Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. A little bit of breaking news here. It's really cool. Right now, River Moon Coffee is offering a 20% discount on their coffee. Hold on for a second. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. River Moon Coffee is offering a 20% discount on their coffee if you write a review. That's all you have to do. So we've got the links up right now in Twitter. Rita, if you could do the River Moon Coffee links again so I can do a retweet on that. River Moon Coffee, and I think we may have it up over on our website. It may not be there yet, but it'll be there tomorrow. But that's all you have to do. Okay, we've got the links up on Twitter, and it's already the best coffee in the world, right? And all you have to do is tell the world what you think about it, and you're going to order some anyway. So, you might as well just get 20% off of your next order because you're a Fadernight. Do it now. Do it today. Go write a review and get 20% off of Fade to Black Blend or any of the other River Moon Coffee products. It's really cool. And that's what they do for you guys. So when the links come back up here in Twitter, I'll bust it out. If you go into my Twitter feed, it is out there. I just can't retweet a retweet, right? I can't do that. Or can I? Can I retweet a tweet that was tweeted? I don't even know. Let me see. Will it let me do this? Oh, it did. Okay, I just retweeted. I think I did. Okay, it might bust up there. But Rita will get it going again, and I'll retweet it. The ECETI Ranch has a road show that is going on right now, and they're going to be here in California, and it's really cool. So what you want to do, our 5-pound bag of Fade to Black Blend came today. 5-pound bag of River Moon Coffee of Fade to Black Blend. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm very impressed. That is huge. I don't even get 5-pound bags. I think they I think they sent us an email today that they just sent us 5 pounds of river moo. Maybe that's what they sent it in, this 5-pound bag. I'm going to keep that. Look at that. That's massive. That's like a grocery bag full of coffee. Well done. The E-City Roadshow is coming to California, and we've got a banner up over at jimmychurchradio.com. And if you're listening to this, I think it's up. And if it's not, it'll be up soon. I know that everything is prepped and ready. But go and click on the banner and get to the schedule for where they are going to be and what they are doing. All right? I want to go hang out with E-City and this road show. So right now they're in California, and I think they're going to bounce around the southern states. I don't know where else they're going right now, but the E-City Road Show is out there. Okay, our next event is coming up. It's June 1st through the 4th, 2018. We'll be at Contact in the Desert in Indian Wells, Palm Springs at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. I announced this last night, but I just want everybody to kind of put this in the back of your mind, what I am going to be doing all weekend with Fade to Black. Okay, so this is our schedule. Friday night, Fade to Black live. We are broadcasting live like we do every year. We'll have 14 guests on the show, and you want to come out and hang out for the live broadcast. It's very cool. That's Friday night. Saturday night, the awards ceremony. That's hosted by George Norrie. We will have a Fade to Black table, and we have 10, I think there's 10 available seats right there for the Fadernauts, and that information will be up at contactinthedesert.com, and you can go and I can't wait. I can't wait to have dinner and hang out with you guys. So we're doing that. There's a Skywatch that's going on that night. The Magic Show, I'm going to host that on Saturday night after the awards dinner. Then Sunday night, closing ceremonies and the closing ceremony panel, which I will be hosting that too as well Sunday night. My guests are Richard Dolan, Corey Good, Brad Olson, Michael Tellinger, Jason Quitt, and Jeremy Corbell. I don't think I'm leaving anybody off of that. So that's, I may be. That'll be Sunday night. So we have a full schedule. Come and hang out with us. That is the premier UFO conference of the entire year. Palm Springs, California, Contact in the Desert. And then right after that, don't forget to sign up for our Soul Tech Gathering, and that is at E-City Ranch up in Washington. That will be August 9th through the 12th. Very simple. Click on the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com for soultechgathering.com. And I just can't wait. We are teaching. That's what we're going to do with 300 Fadernauts. 300. And I believe there's about 200 tickets left. We've only had this up and going for about a week, and we're already 1/3 of the way sold through. So don't procrastinate on this, because in a week or two it's going to be sold out. And I understand that everybody's got obligations and family and jobs, and you got to make arrangements and stuff. But we're not going to sell 301 tickets or 305 or 310. And Jimmy, I couldn't get in on time. Can you please do something? 300 is it. Okay? All right? We don't want the fire department showing up. Maybe the Central Scrutinizer. I love that. Joe's Garage. Don't forget about our podcast. Over 800 archive shows. Click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Just $2 a month. Apple, Android, all platforms. jimmychurchradio.com. Click on the podcast banner. You can also, in addition to that, you can become a Fadernaut over in our membership section of the site. And I love those emails when they come in. I just became a Fadernaut, man. My shirt size is. Can you sign it and have it say, I love those emails? You can do all of that over in our membership section, because you get an email directly to me. Okay? And I write back to everyone. Okay, and if it's a day delayed, you understand why. It's cool. Don't forget all of our sponsors: Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, New Pharma, Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, Numana Food Storage, and Bearing Optics. Bearing Optics is going to be at Contact in the Desert. And don't you want to get, for the night vision with everybody out there, you kind of want to get your own night vision before you go, right? Now, you can rent them there, or you can show up with your own and hang out with us. And how about going up to ECETI Ranch for Soltech? You're going to want your night vision for that too, right? Right. So think about that. Bearing Optics, call Alec Hoffman today. And Numana Food Storage, their special for the Fadernauts has been extended through the end of the month. Jimmy 10, Jimmy 10. That's it, Jimmy 10. It's going to get you 10% off of your order. It's going to get you free shipping. You're going to get a free autographed T-shirt, and you're going to get peace of mind. You're going to get the best food storage out there. You're going to be able to sleep at night. Made in America, GMO. Check it out, GMO and MSG free. And it tastes great. You can snack on it. It's good stuff. All right, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Drew Barrymore. Today is 43. And I'm thinking about Drew and her two, not quite her first, but pretty close. Her two first things that she did when she was so young, E.T. and Cat's Eye. Have you seen Cat's Eye? And if you haven't seen it, Stephen King, Cat's Eye. If you haven't seen it, Drew Barrymore and the cat, pretty cool. She's like 4 years old, 5 years old. E.T., amazing. But also Donnie Darko. And with Donnie Darko, I learned something. And this is what I learned. Cellar door. Remember that when she wrote it up on the wall, on the chalkboard? She's the teacher. Cellar door. The most perfect word. Cellar door. Happy birthday, Drew Barrymore. Also, singer James Blunt today is 44. Don't know where he went, but he had that hit, right? You're Beautiful. Whatever happened to James Blunt? I had to include him, though, because that song, you can't help but sing it, right? James Blunt today is 44. Our dead guy's birthday today is Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin, 1964 to 2006, died at the age of 44, known as the Crocodile Hunter. Irwin died on September 4th, 2006, after being pierced in the heart by a stingray barb while he was filming an underwater documentary film titled Ocean's Deadliest. It's a phrase, not a word. I thought she said it was the world's most perfect word. She said it was the world's most perfect phrase. I don't remember that in the movie. You know what, Rita? We're going to watch Donnie Darko tonight after the show, just for that scene. And somebody, it'll either be you or myself, is going to tweet that the other one was right. Okay? I'm going word. Could be phrase. I remember word. Huh. Okay, we'll figure that out. One of this is going to come clean in Twitter tonight. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Throwing myself under the bus. Underwater documentary film titled Ocean's Deadliest. And got pierced by a stingray. Unreal. On this day in history, OTD, 1990. I remember this like it was yesterday because I watched it. 1990, Milli Vanilli. That's right. They win the Best New Artist Grammy. And then 8 months later, on November 14th, 1990, producer Frank Farian revealed, it was at a press conference, that he had fraudulently put the names and faces of Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan on the records he was making in his studio. Yeah. 4 days later, Milli Vanilli's Grammy Award was withdrawn. Remember that video of them when their tape got all jammed up? The back tape? They ran off the stage. You know, there were rumors at the time when Milli Vanilli, all of that stuff from them was playing all over the radio. There was rumors, especially because I was, at that time, 1990, I was producing bands in my studio in Hollywood. And in the studio world, there were rumors going around then that it was fake, right? And it was coming out probably out of Germany, and musicians and people were talking about it, but nobody would admit to it, and it was just a bizarre thing. And I'm sure that their tape getting jammed up and them running off the stage forced Frank Farian to come clean. But I think it's the only time that the Grammys took back an award. Took it back. 1990. Unbelievable. Fader fact. Here's another one. Here's a good one. You ready? Russell Crowe turned down the role of Morpheus in The Matrix. And that, Karen, look at Milli Vanilli. Remember that video? These guys were fake, man. They were fake. I'm going to retweet that. No, they were fake. Unbelievable. Thank you, Karen. Now, where was I? Yeah, Russell Crowe turned down the role of Morpheus in The Matrix. What a different... I'm not so sure that The Matrix would have had the impact. Yeah. Russell Crowe turned that thing down. You think about that for a second. Russell Crowe is Morpheus. No, let's not. Tonight is another Fader night without John Rappaport. He'll be back with us next Thursday. It's open lines all night long, so instead of the No More Fake Newsroom at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to go straight to open lines. And I've already got a string of calls on hold, but you're going to have to wait right there. But at least you're in, and you're first, and you're on hold. So stay right there, because I wanted to talk about... There's a trend that has been going on for the past couple of years, and lately it's been picking up steam again after going away for a little while. And the trend is this. The trend is shooting a video with your cell phone of a UFO, but it's actually a reflection in a window, right? And you could be shooting a video, you can take a picture, and... and these were flooding around for a while, like a lamp or a chandelier in the background, and it's reflecting in the window, and you take a picture of it, and it looks like it's outside, and so forth. There's that. And also shooting moving objects that are reflecting, especially inside of a car, because if a car is moving, then you get reflections on the car windows from outside, especially at night, and it looks crazy, and then you just videotape it with your video with your cell phone, and if you get the angle right, you don't necessarily see the window, and you're just looking through. Well, anyway, it's a trend. It's easy to do, and if done right, it looks pretty cool too as well. And you can pull off pretty convincing video without any CGI or effects, because it's an actual video, right? Think about this for a second. Now, I love my River Moon coffee. Today I was sent a video called the UFO Battle Over Henderson. I don't know if you've seen this yet. You don't have to waste your time. Well, you can go watch it, but somebody's getting paid on clicks. But I certainly watched it. And it's something close to that title, The Battle Over Henderson or something. So anyway, it took me like 2 seconds to see what it was. I mean, I just figured it out, which is it's cars with their headlights on reflecting off of a window. It's traffic on a road. It's two-way traffic, right? And it's going like this, two-way traffic. And so they kind of got the camera tilted, and they kind of move it and like this, and it looks like there are lights down here that are still probably stopped at a traffic light, right? Lights up here that are stopped at a traffic light, and traffic in the middle. It looks like almost like they're shooting at each other. It's pretty cool. Right? But you look, and then suddenly it's frigging traffic on the street. And so somebody just throws a label on it, right? A thumbnail, cool title, UFO Battle Over Henderson, and let the clicks begin, right? Well, it was traffic on the road. Last week, It was this orb over a field. Guys are driving in a car off to the left, and this guy spins around, and there's this orb over this field, and then it flies over the car to the other side, and they spin the camera around, the cell phone spinning around. Now the orb's on the other side, and it's in the field, and it's like, wow, oh man, ooh, wow, that is so cool. It did. It looked cool, except if you slow it down, you can see, well, I caught it right away. You can see the reflection of the orb on the inside of the car on the B pillar. And so the orb's coming, it's coming but it's reflecting in a window. And it's somebody like with a light in the background that's reflecting off of the window outside. It looks cool, right? It does. But you can also see the reflection down here in the black B pillar. You can see it move, and you can see it's like, and so what did they do? It's fun to watch, well done, but fake. Well, it's not fake, it's just not a UFO, but it gets posted with the cool thumbnail, and people click. Remember the UFOs over Houston? Remember that a couple of years ago? Shot during a thunderstorm up in the clouds, perfect circle of lights, obviously real, no CGI needed, it's right there. But it was real. It was a real light pole over a highway blocked by the fog, and the circle of lights is up, above the clouds, and you see it, and it's like amazing. But it was debunked immediately, and there it is. It wasn't a flying saucer. Rita and I, a couple of years ago, went to Roswell. And during the drive from Albuquerque to Roswell, we stopped to take a break. And, well, we actually spilled a chocolate shake in the car all over the floor, and we had to pull over and clean that up. But while we were at the rest stop, we look up into the sky behind us, and there it is, the perfect circle, the flying disc. Lights around it, floating up in the sky, huge, amazing. Rita and I were just flipping out. We're like, right there, man, Roswell. We stood and we looked at it for like 10 or 15 minutes. Took a couple of pictures. It was about a half mile away behind us on the freeway there. And it was up and it was over the freeway. And I kept saying out loud, don't any of these cars see this? How come nobody is pulling over and freaking out? It's right there. Hundreds of cars were just driving right under it, but they just kept on going. And after about 15 minutes, then it happened. The evening mist kind of cleared away, and there it was. It was a street light. It was a street light above the exit ramp by the freeway. A really tall one, like this 100-yard tall street light. And the perfect circle of lights. I couldn't believe it, right? I looked down the freeway at it, and then I looked back to where Rita and I were standing, and right next to us, a few feet away, I looked straight up, and there it is, the round circle of lights on the end of one of these huge 100-yard tall poles. Another UFO, right? Right above us. Well, I immediately deleted the images on my phone. I didn't want them. I didn't want to be reminded later about how much we were taken by this, because we were. We really thought we saw something. We could have shot an amazing video. We didn't. With a cool thumbnail and a title that reads, "Flying Disc Has Been Captured Again Over the City of Roswell," and gotten 1 million clicks. But we didn't. So we've got that going for us, right? It amazes me when I read those comments on YouTube, like, "They're here, disclosure." I've seen one just like this. "I was there. This is proof the government is lying to us. Great video. Amazing. Thank you. Watch this before they make them take it down. I'm so sharing this. Thank you. I just subbed. I remember this. I saw it too." Yeah, you did. You saw it when you were exiting off of Happy Street while heading south on the 10 freeway. So think about that. Seriously. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody right after this short break. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I'm the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Tepe.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Twitter's on fire, man. You guys are nuts. I like that video. Mark Tarana, it's really cool. That's exactly what I'm talking about, too. Well done. All right, open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Oh, man. All right, so let's just get straight to it. Let's go. Tomorrow night, I'll be over at Coast to Coast AM filling in for George Norrie, and Open Lines over there. And I will have actor Kerr Smith as my guest, and we'll set the tone. And so it's 2 straight nights of Open Lines, and then I'm over there Saturday night as well. And my guests are Jason Quitt and Brad Olson. So come and hang out with us as the week continues over at Coast to Coast. And with that, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're first up. Who's calling?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're live.
All right. Yeah, this is Renegade Patrick from Sun Valley.
Renegade Patrick. That's a. Did you give yourself that nickname, or did somebody else give it to you?
Yeah, it was just my idea.
Okay. I'll go with that. Renegade. I'll go with that. So what's on your mind tonight, man?
Yeah, thank you. Just hanging out, listening to you. I enjoy your show. You're a great host every night, and I've called before. I've told you about that little sighting I had outside of my window, outside of my room.
Right.
Over on
above the freeway. Yeah.
November 1st.
Patrick.
Hello?
Are you there, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't freak out on me.
I'm here.
Okay. I remember the phone call. You saw some black triangles with some binoculars, right?
Yeah, look, I got this, things just get on my mind, and, I just figure things out. And I would just like to let the Fadernauts know that it's a good idea to have blinds when you're sleeping on your window, because what I think what they're doing is they're tapping into our consciousness when we're sleeping. When you have your blinds open and they can see you visibly, somehow I think they're tapping into our consciousness, and I think most of those are drones.
Oh, interesting.
Computerized, high sophisticated drones.
Wow. Well, if you've experienced that and you want to share that advice, I'm with you. Okay, so there you go. For me, Patrick, and I'll say this, that explains a lot, because, I feel like I'm out of my mind half of the time, and I do sleep with the blinds open. So there you go. But I like the cool breeze coming in at night. So, keep the blinds closed. Can you keep your window open, but the blinds closed?
Keep the blinds closed on certain days.
Okay.
The days that they're flying,
right,
like on Wednesday nights,
right,
or Thursday, or when it's a clear night.
Okay, all right. Well, and you're saying that you see things on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights in Sun Valley.
Well, they're not moving. It's just a bright light, and then I have Bushnell binoculars, which are pretty good.
Right.
Not as great as the ones you have, but I'm going to get the ones you have. But this one right here, I'm able to, with those binoculars, I'm able to see 5 windows. They're identical to the ones on top of the Capitol building.
Wow. You should
5 of them.
Is there a way you can take a picture?
No, there's no way. You got to have a really good camera.
Right. Wow, I'm interested in this. Okay, we're in Burbank. We're right next to you. So after the show tonight, I'm going to go outside and take a look and see what I can see.
Well,
okay.
They're not really around tonight.
Oh,
but yes, last night they were around because it was a clear night.
Okay.
And then it's basically a bright white light, and it's in the sky, and you can't miss it. And if you want to get a better picture, a better view, just head over to Sun Valley right next door, and like Glen Oaks.
Yes. Right
there, Glen Oaks, and around that area, you could see it. Or you could go over. I can email you the location. It's like an undisclosed location, which is over in Shadow Hills,
right,
where you can just walk up. It's like a hiking area. Okay, when you go up Sunland Boulevard, when you pass that 7-Eleven in Shadow Hills.
Yep.
You know that one?
Yeah,
the right
I do.
side?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
past that?
Yes. Where the market is, there's a market right there, really good market, Sun Valley Market. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, it's on the other side.
Okay, I'll
go. You go north.
Okay, Patrick, I will go check it out. Your phone is dropping in and out, but thank you for the phone call. Anybody in the valley, just go right there off of the 5 and Sun Valley, and you exit right there. You head across the freeway and keep going up. That's exactly where he is talking about right there. So with that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Turn down the music in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Jimmy Church, rocking the mic. Man, that cat does everything right. I love all talk coach, but Jimmy's the one I love the most.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hey, Jimmy, this is Avalanche Bob. I go Bob Cribby from Queens. I want to ask you something.
What's that?
Did you ever think there's going to be superheroes in this world? Have you seen the snowboarders and the Olympics this year?
I haven't watched the Olympics this year.
They're superheroes.
Yeah, they are. There, no doubt about it. I haven't watched the Olympics.
And you know what, Jim? I wrote a whole music around snowboarding. Wrote a whole music around snowboarding, and I've updated the yodel. And I'm getting a lot of plays on the radio. And I've got a song on there, believe it or not, in the title exactly with Musk and the space program called "Don't You Want to Go to Space Island?" And I'm getting a lot of I got all these different songs on there, and I'm getting a lot. I'm a young older. I call myself I'm an older guy, but I feel like I'm much, much younger. And I have things happening that tell me I'm going to do this. And it's funny how things are falling into place. But I just thought, I tried to send you a copy, but I could. But if you want to check it out for any reason, you go to avalanchebob.bandcamp.com and you'll find it.
Okay, and it'll be up here in Twitter in just a second. Okay, so thank you for that.
I'm getting some radio play, and a lot of people are behind me, and I've got some very important people. And I think this is my time, Jim, and I think I'll help you to change the world. I'm not trying to be a Negro or anything else, but I love people.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait to hear it.
I think you'll like it, Jim, because I've got songs from Broadway shows and everything I'm trying to write. I got this song called Hoodoo Man. I got this song called Snowboarder from Hell, and a whole music around snowboarding. And I'm getting a lot of tweets, and it falls in exactly. I thought I was going to get in the Olympics this year, but maybe next time.
Well, next time, but we're going to get it up here in Twitter right now, and I can't wait to hear it, man. All the Fadernauts are going to go check it out.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much. And as I said, you're the most, man. You're the most. You rock it the most.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the phone call.
Rockin'!
I'll talk to you. That's amazing. And I can't wait to hear it. So somebody get those up there in Twitter right now so we can, I want everybody's, let's do it. Let's do a review. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Sean in Texas.
Hey, Sean in Texas. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was calling about the DeLong thing. I know you've gone over it a couple of times. I remember calling you back a couple of years ago. He was on with George Knapp on the Sunday Coast show.
Okay.
And that's the first time I'd heard of Tom DeLonge. I knew who Blink-182 was, but I didn't know who he was.
Right.
But I remember thinking at the time, it didn't seem right. And I know you've actually posed some questions to him. I haven't heard back on if you got any response to that. But I didn't think that it didn't seem right at the time. So I hate to go back and do the Monday morning quarterback thing, but I remember calling you and saying this doesn't seem right. So I'm just curious as to where you're at right now with that.
Well, where I'm at is this, and it's actually very, very, very simple. The movement that To the Stars did with mass media, because they have a strong PR firm, and Leslie Kane was there for them, and George Knapp as well. They were able to bust this thing into the mass media, and it went all around the world. And so that part of it, I'm very, very thankful for. Was it the days of disclosure? It felt that way. We found out a little bit about a program that was going on in the Pentagon. What its true nature or anything like that, we don't know yet, but certainly the program was exposed. So I'm thankful for that, too, as well. And then we have this apparent warehouse that Bigelow's running out there in Las Vegas with some kind of debris, whether it's alloys or metals or off-planet or on-planet. We don't know yet, but certainly that was exposed. So I'm thankful for that. The other stuff where these mistakes were made, you have to understand, and Tom's finding this out right now into the stars. You can go and release anything you want, and the mass media is, they can report on the story. This community will take things apart. They will study. They will find out. They will break down. They will absolutely figure out what is going on. And you have to make sure what you have is what you say that it is. Because this community will figure it out for you if you don't do that, and then you get embarrassed. And all I have to do is bring up one incident that happened 2 years ago, the Roswell slides with Jaime Maussan. Right? Big announcement, big this, big that, big arena, Mexico City, this is it, alien body. We've got anthropologists and biologists and researchers and historians and this, and they're all going to get up, and doctors, and they're going to testify, and they're going to break this down, and this is it. And the images were released and leaked and so forth, and it turned out to be a big pile of doo-doo. And it took all of a few minutes after that presentation of his for this entire thing to fall apart. I feel bad for Jaime Maussan, and all of the apologies in the world aren't going to fix what you did, and you certainly charged people money to get seats in that arena. Now, that is an example of the bright people that are part of the UFO community. They don't take it, man. They don't take it. And if you are going to come forward and say certain things and present and say things, you better be on your game. So that's what he's going through right now.
Right. I think the point that I was making, or that I made, and I understand all that, but I think the people that he was lining himself up with was kind of suspect, and that was the point that I think I was making back then, and that I'll make again. I think he's kind of got himself into the wrong camp, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, could be, and so my position is, and it's kind of a simple one, is that we wait and see, because the next round, and he knows this, and To the Stars knows this. The next round of stuff and statements and videos and images and evidence, it better be up to snuff. Okay?
It better pass the smell test.
It better. Right, exactly. It better, because if it doesn't, then that's it. That's it. To the Stars is through, and certainly in the UFO community. And that's really the truth. And that's really disappointing, because what happened with the mass media was great. It was great. So there you go. Let's just see how it plays out, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe it was a series of mistakes, and they learned from that. And then this next, Luis Elizondo is going to be on with George Knapp this Sunday over at Coast. Okay, so let's see what Luis has to say Sunday night, and hopefully George is going to ask the right questions, because certainly To the Stars, Tom, and others over there, they have been presented with my list of questions. They know what that is, and I've got it out there. And I'm not trying to push anybody into a corner. I'm just stating the obvious. These are the questions that the community is asking. That's all.
Most of us, I think most of us that have been exposed to this for a certain amount of time. I'm a couple years younger than you, but yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's other things that you need to come across, Yeah, but absolutely. Well, I didn't know I was on with Nat, but yeah, I love your questions, man. I just didn't know if you got a response or not. So
I did, but I don't want to discuss any of that because it's private email. And I wouldn't read your email out to the world, right? So, sure. I'm gonna, so I fan the flames a little bit. What should be asked. Any good journalist would ask these questions, and so let's just see how it plays out, and let's keep our fingers crossed. It's bad. It was a stumble, but it doesn't mean that everything is over. So, Sean, thank you for the phone call, man, and I'm totally with you, and I'm glad that you understand, this community's position, and let's see what the future holds.
Hey, much love to you and Rita and the rest of the crew. Thank you, and go Fadernight.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Behave out there.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Great phone call. Let's just keep this going. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi.
Yes. Yes, go ahead. 713, you're up. Okay, I lost that. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, this is Dan again.
Okay, Dan again. How are you?
Good. I was just a quick question. I was wondering how many times this Billy Graham guy is going to die?
I have no idea.
My dad says he was the biggest con man since Jesus Christ. Do you think that's true?
I don't know, man. I know nothing. I was surprised to see that he lived to 99. I didn't even know he was still around. But yeah, I'm with you on that. But I have no opinions, man. That was not my circle of that wasn't my playground growing up. So there you go. But I was surprised to hear that he was still around and that he passed away yesterday.
Well, Jesus Christ raised from the dead, or what? Maybe that was a different timeline. I'm not sure.
Yeah, could be. All right, Dad. Thank you for that, man, and be safe out there. Great point. I didn't even know that he was still alive. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, Jimmy. This is Cliff.
Hi, Cliff. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, what's going on, man? How are you?
Real good.
I
just wanted
to go
say
ahead.
The other night,
Yes.
you were talking about sci-fi shows, different movies that you would like, and there was two that you skipped by, and I'm sure you've seen them, and I'm sure you love them.
Sure.
One of them was Forbidden Planet.
Number one. That's my number 2 sci-fi film of all time.
I'll tell you one you need to watch if you haven't seen it. It's got a corny name, but the damn thing is good. It really is.
What's that?
It's called Robinson Crusoe on Mars.
I've seen it 20 times, and that is an amazing, amazing film. And let me tell you something about Robinson Crusoe on Mars. That is a film that people don't think about first. They think about Forbidden Planet, or they think about 2001: A Space Odyssey, or E.T., or Alien, or there's so many great films, right? Earth versus the Flying Saucers, right? These are all great movies. Robinson Crusoe on Mars presupposes that you could survive, right?
Yes.
And the things that he goes through and making friends, right, with the alien that was there, and then going across the planet. Now, I don't want to give it away. I think everybody should go and check it out. But I just have to say, Clip, you're 100% correct in that. You're 100% correct for throwing me under the bus. Yeah, I'm with you.
No.
I'm with you. What a great movie. The beginning, you remember, the movie itself, probably the first half hour, 45 minutes, is all just in that cave, right?
Yes.
Right? Where they, and they're surviving there. It is just awesomely shot, awesomely written, the ideas behind it, and the concepts for something that was made in probably 1959, 58. I don't even know. Somebody in Twitter is probably going to get that information up to us really quick. Somebody let me know when Robinson Crusoe on Mars. There it is right there. Yeah, wow. What a great movie. And you remember the ETs coming across and
sure.
With their flying saucers with the I guess they were lasers, right? Remember? And
why not?
And keeping check on everybody. That was cool. That was well written. That was a good movie. So thank you for that, man.
You just had the wrong name. That's all. Thanks, Jimmy. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you for pointing that out. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. An amazing film. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, this is Darren Amarillo.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
It's Darren. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Darren.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. Real quick, before we hit the break, what's on your mind?
Oh, yes, sir. I've never called in meeting before. I was just going to tell about some experiences that I've had. UFOs a couple of times. I grew up having, like, crazy dreams about things, and it scared me as a kid. Some experiences I've had as I've got older, me and a buddy were out, and I've always lived out in the country, and we've seen crazy things flying in the sky. We actually had something fly up to us and buzz us and then just completely go away out of the sky.
How close did it get to you, Darren? Oh, I lost Darren. He just dropped. Yeah, he was in a car. Yeah, that happens. Well, we're going to head towards a break right here anyway. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Frankie Four Fingers just posted up the poster of it. And, okay, there you go. One picture alone. This is one of those movies that is so well written. Nobody in the film, it's like 3 actors, maybe 4, at one point just 2. Really well written for as old as that film is and the concept behind it. So if you ever get a chance to check out Robinson Crusoe, Robinson Crusoe on Mars, I just tweeted that out. I was trying to think who was 1964? I would have never thought that. Well, I guess it was color. Okay, so that's possible. 1964, I didn't know that. But if you ever get a chance, that's a movie to go and check out. But Rita and I tonight after the show are forced into watching Donnie Darko once again. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to get out of here for a quick break, and it's open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I tweeted out earlier, if you want to Skype in, you can give it a shot. Fade to Black 14. It's very simple. All right, there you go. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy.
Jimmy Church on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Phones are jammed. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Man, I just totally screwed up my... can I just click remove? Oh, that's how you do that? Man, I just totally screwed up my... let me see if I can do this right here. Oh, but that doesn't do remove. I added 2 columns, but one I was able to remove, the other one I can't on TweetTech. I've never done that before. That was weird. That was an accidental right click, and then boom, I added columns that I don't need, and now I can't move it across. Man, this is a drag. All right, I'm doing this live on the air, too. I need to call in Rita and go, duh, Rita, I need you to fix because now I can't see... I can't see. This is weird, man. How did this happen? Okay, so if I go full screen, that works. Okay, yeah, nothing like doing this live on the air. Let's go to the phones. Hi, Curtis.
Okay, hey, how you doing, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. See, I put you at the front of the line. You like that?
Nice, thank you very much.
I do. Does that prove to you that I actually read Twitter?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. What's on your mind, man?
Well, how's the connection so far?
It's good. It's good. It works.
All right. Good. Yeah. So, listen to the show for a while now. So what we saw, we thought at first maybe what we saw was a hot air balloon being lit up at night.
And where was this?
This was in Magog.
Oh, okay.
Quebec.
Right.
Just outside of Montreal.
Right. I've seen that before. I've seen a bunch of hot air balloons at night, lit up. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty dramatic. But I think you also know that they're hot air balloons, right? So,
right.
But tell me about what you guys were watching.
Yeah, so, do hot air balloons, first of all, typically fly at night, is my first question.
No, I would think that, yes. Now, if it's some kind of special event, right, some hot air balloon gathering, that they're going to go and get the temporary licenses required to be up in the airspace so that airplanes can fly around them and helicopters. Because if they're not lit up, that's a pretty big thing that's floating around in the sky that would be black, right? So, but if you, I would think if you get clearance. Now, if you're lit up, now, I'm not too sure about these regulations that are there, but I would think that if you're below 5,000 feet and you have lights on, you are clear. I think you run into problems if you're going to fly over 5,000 feet and with lights on or off. But, so I don't know. I'm not a pilot, right? But I've read things over the years. I did go a while ago, Curtis. I wanted to get, Rita totally ixnayed this idea, but I wanted to get an ultralight. Okay. I had flown in one up in Mammoth. And this guy had this ultralight there, a two-seater with a wing, like a little tiny airplane, but it was like a hang glider with an engine on it, but it had a tail, right? And, for $25, he'd take you up or something like that. So I flew in this thing. And we're cruising around a few hundred feet off the ground, and did a circle around Mammoth and then landed right on, I think it was a parking lot. And it only took like a few, and it only took a few yards. I'm serious, man, like 10 yards. This thing was airborne, just immediately took off very slow. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, dude, how much is this? And he was like, man, I bought this for, I forget, $2,000 or $3,000. I'm like, I got to get one of these, and I said, what kind of light? You don't need a pilot's license. Really? No, if you fly under 5,000 feet and if this and this and this with regulations, you don't need anything. So I learned something from him that day, right? Under 5,000 feet, certain speed, certain weight of the aircraft and so forth, you don't need a pilot's license. You don't need anything. And you can fly these things out of your front street.
Yeah, well, this was definitely not a plane, but it was maybe about a mile or two off the surface of the earth, right? And then my two friends I was with, my friend Chuck and his sister Isabel, my girlfriend at the time, Chuck went back the next day to look at the area where we saw this thing. And there's more to this story. And we thought maybe, could have been a hot air balloon, and scratched that out. Then maybe we thought, could it be that they were doing some kind of welding work on these water towers that we have there? No, water towers were way down below. Water tower doesn't span a mile up in the air. And the reason why we know it wasn't a balloon else is because, how people say when these lights kind of come on out of nowhere, kind of this orange orb light, and then it slowly disappears or turns off and then reappears. Well, this happened a few times. Let's say must have happened half a dozen times. And each time the light that came on or went off was in a different place in the sky, relatively the same area around, again, about a mile off the surface of the earth. And then, so it could have been more than one craft, but we don't know. But at the end, before the last time that we saw it, this is very interesting. And I haven't heard much of this in the UFO community. I've heard of lasers and stuff like this, but this is different. Plus, this orb was on top of what we suspect was an electric dam. We think it was around that area. And what happened was the last time it lit up, it sent down to what we suspect was the dam, these orange laser-like arcs. You know how you would draw a radio signal from a radio tower?
Yeah, with the right. Yeah, the
right, like
concentric,
progressing,
concentric arcs. Yes,
exactly. So like the first arc is like a smaller arc, then the second arc is larger, and like that, right?
Right.
So these beams or these arcs of light or lasers, you could call them, were being sent down towards this hydro dam, and then it reflected or resonated off of the earth or the dam and went back up to the craft or the orb, the light. And the reason I say craft, why we suspect it was a material craft and not just some orb out there, is because when it did that, when these arcs went back up to the craft, it made a sonic boom, and then it was gone. We didn't see it again. We stayed there for a while after that. But the whole sighting must have lasted about 20 minutes.
The event happened, I'm going to guess here, without any images. You didn't take any pictures, no video.
No, we were just teens.
Oh, you were teen. Oh, okay, well, you didn't tell us that part. How long ago was this?
This was, this would have been around in the 90s, so it would have been around either anywhere from 93 to 94, 95 in the summer, but okay. I can't really remember. But, and you'd think you would remember something like that, but it's like we just forgot about it.
No, I've done the same thing. So, yeah, I don't have issues with that. My sighting that I had up in Monterey, California, which I've talked about enough here on the show, but I still, going back, and I discussed this with a couple of friends of mine that were there just recently, a couple of years ago, and we couldn't remember what year it was. And I was suggesting 95, 96. Somebody else said, no, I'm thinking it was more like 97 or 98. So here we are. Now we got a 3-year window, and all of us were there. And so it's just like, wait a minute here. We all know what we were doing. We were all together on this road trip. We were all, but you would think that something that significant, we would absolutely be able to go, yeah, that was May 96. But, there you go. And I forgot that it happened.
Yeah, and I saw one like the sighting that you described that kind of looks like a star, right? Just a bright light, not actually colored.
Right.
And I was wondering with your sighting, because the way you explained it, the time that I heard you say it seemed to me that could it possibly have been Mars? Because I know that Mars kind of does these freaky things in its orbit depending on our orbit, and it could look like it's going one way and then stop and then go the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Mars is tiny. The things that I'm specifically referring to are big.
Yeah, okay.
Very substantial. I don't know. I have
because the other one we saw. If I can just add that in.
Sure.
That looked like that. It was doing these crazy patterns. It's the similar, it was around the same area, Georgeville, Magog area. I was with my 2 girlfriends at the time, Shannon and Kim, and we were sticking our heads outside of the tent looking at this thing for, again, it must have been about 20, 30 minutes. And it was just going around in these random patterns really fast if you consider that it was within our atmosphere and it would move, right across the sky in like seconds or not even.
Right.
And, just a bright star, sort of like what you're saying, but it was so high up that we couldn't estimate a size, really. It must have been anywhere from like, I don't know, 30 feet or more. But we saw this thing move around, kind of like those green flies that you see in the summertime, those crazy flies that move around really fast,
Right.
And, again, we were teenagers, and we just, we got bored of it, and we just continued doing our thing, doing our night, you know?
Right. Well, there's another thing that I wasn't fully aware of until the last year or so, which is these Iridium satellites that apparently light up and flash up in the sky as they're orbiting, and you can look them up and you can look at their orbits and you can find their locations and so forth. So if you see something a flash up in the sky that looks like a star that's moving and then it lights up, you can immediately go and see if one of these satellites is directly overhead.
I mean, would we have had Iridium satellites in the 90s?
I don't see. This is new to me. There are people out there that know a lot about Iridium satellites and satellites in general. I do not. So I don't know about the history of them. I've only been made aware of them over the last year or two.
And the thing is, with what we saw is, I don't think a satellite, a rocket can travel at the speeds that we saw this thing move. I mean, if you extend your hand up in the sky and you open your hand from your thumb to your longest finger, the marriage finger.
Yes.
I forget what that one's called now.
Index.
In the sky, in the atmosphere, an object traveling that distance in less than 1 second, stopping on a dime, doing these weird seemingly figure eight patterns. I mean,
well, yeah, I know, and I've seen a couple of strange things like that I seriously I cannot explain. And last year at Contact in the Desert, not the year before, with the big sighting, but last year, Rita and I stepped up and we're doing the night watch, and we're seeing some pretty crazy stuff. And I do know that Jason Martell and his girlfriend Taylor was with us, and the four of us were standing together and out on the edge of the cliff, same place as the year before, and off directly above us, filling up the sky, this it was kind of like a turquoise or aquamarine colored object. It like sputtered and then lit up, but it went across the sky and it did this Z like Zorro in the sky, and it happened this fast. It went okay, that fast. It made the Z and then took off to our left and then sputtered out, and then as it sputtered out, it like flashed its headlights twice, teesh, and then took off. Now, I can't. Now, the thing is, right, as crazy as that sounds, there was 200 people that were all standing there, and when this happened, everybody yelled. And I remember as I was watching this, more than one a person around me said, It zigzagged. It made a letter Z. It zigzagged, and I was like, okay, I'm not imagining it. That's exactly what happened. Now, how do I explain that to somebody that wasn't there?
They'll just think you're crazy.
Right? And it was big, man. It was big, and it wasn't that high in the sky either. It wasn't like satellite. This was, I don't know, 10,000 feet or something. It wasn't that high up, but it was how it powered up, how fast it moved, how it did this zigzag, and then as it took off, it like flashed its headlights. It's the only way, when somebody flashes their high beams at you, click, click, right? It was like that.
Right.
And it winked on and winked off and did this Z, and it was blue and it was beautiful. It wasn't bright blue. It was like turquoise colored, and it was round, and I know this sounds crazy. And this is the other thing, Curtis, is that if you look up into the night sky and you hold your arms out above you, 2 feet apart, 3 feet apart. Now imagine that big chunk of the sky, right? Big. That's how much of the sky it took up. It wasn't some little thing in the middle of the sky. It was like right in front. It just woof, woof, woof.
Oh yeah, so it was pretty low to the ground then.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I wanted that thing to come back so bad. I wanted to see it a second time. I don't know if anybody was videoing and happened to capture this, but there was 200 people out there that saw it. You know,
but had I not
check this out, Curtis. Yeah. If you go to Twitter right now and you go to the F2B feed, look what Karen just tweeted. The green Zorro thing is still the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It just kept coming closer and fast. See, she was there.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was there, you know, and so there were so many people that witnessed it that night. I remember Jason Martell, when that happened, he goes, I got to get me some of these night vision goggles.
I want a pair of those.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely amazing. I can't.
It's funny though how like our sightings sort of allow us to not think that other people who have sightings are totally crazy. Like the reason why I have reason to believe that what you're saying is perhaps true. Let's just say I believe you, is because of what I've seen. But had I not witnessed that, I'd probably think that the UFO people are crazy.
That's right. You know, and I'm fine with that. And I've always said, see, this is what's most important here, Curtis. We had 200 people that saw it that night. And somebody just posted, I was up on the hill at that time. It was legit. See, this is somebody else that was there. Somebody else just posted, yeah, it happened at about 11 p.m. Yes. So, you know, so it's important for them to be able to support each other about something like this. But if you are alone and you see something, dude, it's just a story, right? And it sucks. It sucks. It's like going fishing. And I was fishing. I was alone. I was in my aunt's boat, and I'm out on I can't remember the name of the lake up in Michigan. But so anyway, I go out on the boat and a little motor on the boat. You know, I go out into the middle, and the boat turns. I'm fishing, and the boat turns. I'm like, wow, something big. And I'm reeling it in, and now I feel like it's like a shark, right? I'm like, oh my God, and it's pulling the boat. I didn't have an anchor, and now I'm reeling this thing in. The boat is moving across the lake, right? It's straight out of Lake Placid, and I'm reeling this thing in, and it comes up, and I pull out like a 3-foot. It bent my pole in half, like a 3-foot, 30-pound pike with these teeth, right? These teeth, and it's gnawing on my fishing line. And I'm like, this is the biggest fit. No, I can't even believe it. And I went to pull it into the boat. I'm pulling it up, and I just cannot wait for my family to see this thing. And it's like 3 feet long. I'm 4 feet. I'm 10 years old, right? This thing is as big as I am. And it bites through the fishing line and drops into the water. Now, what do I got here? I got a story. That's it. I never, right now on the air tonight is the first time I've ever really told it. I can't tell that story to anybody. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you have witnesses and you're out there and you see something like that in the sky and there's 200 other people there, I'm going to back them up. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it on the air, and everybody that was there is able to, like, you know, tweet tonight. That's right, man. I was there. It was amazing, and that's what you do.
Yeah, slightly off topic. I just want to add this in before I let you go or whatever. You know that video that was going around, how can I explain this? It was a guy in the country. You could hear chainsaws. I think he was with either his young child or something on his back, or I don't know what, but you see this spacecraft sort of in a field, kind of down a hill.
Yes.
And it makes a sound. You see the alien come out of it.
Yep.
and it takes off, makes a sound. The guy runs to where it was.
Yep.
You remember that one? I don't know if that one was a hoax or not. Was that sort of
CGI? There's two videos.
Probably, yeah.
There's two videos. Hold on.
I just wanted to say.
Well, let me say this though, really quick.
Yeah.
There are two videos out, maybe more, two that I've seen that are two different shots out in the country. One has got tan grass, one has got green grass, one has got pine trees in the background, the other one has got like maple trees in the background. Two different nature scenes with the exact same CGI inserted with the alien that comes off the craft and kind of walks around and takes a look around and then gets back on and takes off. And I was just like, wait a minute here. So somebody used the exact same CGI animation and dropped it into two different videos, and it's out there. It's really funny when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's possible that it was, but let's just say that one of them was real, okay? When I saw that video, I don't know, I was smoking lots of weed at the time, and I kind of got this epiphany or something that told me something about the Greys, and it's this. You know how they can mind control us or paralyze us, supposedly?
Yes.
Right? Well, I suspect that ability is a proximity thing. In other words, if the alien is too far away from you, it doesn't have that much power. So if ever, for people out there who have these encounters, and they're close to one of these things, I really think that if you literally just run away, you just start running away. If you can distance yourself from them, their brain powers or whatever it is won't have as much effect. Of course, they could always just jump in their craft and chase after you. But
Right. Yeah, because I have my little experience, but until we catch one of these dudes, wouldn't it be great if one was caught like in a neighborhood and chased down, tied up, videotaped by the neighbors, and then we get and out of the government's hands, and we're able to figure some things out for ourselves. But until then, Curtis, we just don't know. I have my own personal experience, and it wasn't cool. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if it was my imagination. I don't know if I was dreaming. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know if it was mind control. I don't know. All I know is when it happened, it was real, and there you go. So everything that you're mentioning right now, all of those are possibilities. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's possible. Well, it makes kind of sense if you think about it too. I mean,
yes, it does. It does. Hey, man,
it's like
I gotta head to a commercial break here, Curtis. But don't be a stranger, man.
Yeah. Thanks for all that, and I love the show.
Thank you, Curtis. What city in Canada?
Montreal.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Curtis. Have a great night.
You too. Have a good one.
It's Fade to Black. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Yeah, man. Thursday night, Fadernight, open lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. And let's go. Open lines Thursday night. And before I get back to the phones, a couple of things. Somebody just posted, who was this? Hold on, let me scroll back. Oh, Cortana. She says, Jimmy Church can talk about two birds sitting on a fence and make it sound interesting. And apparently Joseph Roop said this earlier this evening. You know, I will defend our community. And it's really true. I will defend our community. And when those events happened the last couple of years out at Contact in the Desert, I'm telling you, it was, these are life-changing things. If we back up, though, back to 2014, and I realize this is 4 years ago now, out at Contact in the Desert, and it was myself and Steve Murillo. I know that Walter was there. I know that Rick Sinnott was there. Space Boy was there. Space Boy's wife was there. Rita, Nurse Nancy. I could be leaving out a couple of more, but there was probably 10 or 15 of us out having a little get-together, and in the middle of the desert. Rita and I had rented this cabin out, I forget what it was called, but it was literally called 29 Palms Desert Cabins for rent, right? For you. And so we rent this thing, and out in the middle of the desert. And we're out on the patio, and somebody says, wouldn't it be cool if we just saw a UFO? And at that moment, this thing took off from the desert floor and shot straight up, almost like fireworks, but it wasn't. And it was just a white ball, and it went straight. It lasted for about a second, maybe two, just went pew, and straight up in a perfect straight line, this white ball, and went up and disappeared into the stars. And now you have to stop and imagine what I am trying to explain to you. And especially the next morning when Rita and I got up and I walked out onto the patio and I looked out across the desert and there was nothing there, right? Just brush, and then it ended at the mountains. There's nothing there. And I'm imagining what it could have been. I'm trying to justify this in my own mind's eye. Was it somebody out there goofing around? Was it but there was nothing out there but desert. And from the distance that I remember this being, like a quarter mile maybe out and away from us, and I'm looking, it's like, who would be out there in the middle of the night? What could that have been? Now, I don't know what it was, but one thing is for sure. We all saw it. We had witnesses. It was multiple witnesses. Now, I can tell this story, but it's not just a story because we all saw it. And it didn't turn, it didn't curve, it didn't have flames, it didn't make any noise. It was nothing but a white ball of light. It wasn't very big either. It wasn't like it was, 100 feet or even 20 feet. It looked to me like it was small, maybe the size of a beach ball or something like that. But it was lit up and it was glowing, but there was no sparks or noise or explosion or anything. And it just went, and it was fast. Now, what do you do with that? What do you do? Obviously it was too fast to take a picture. Even if we all had cell phones, nobody took it. It just happened too quickly. That was that. You would have had a video camera running at that moment to catch it. So we didn't have that, and it caught us by surprise. I don't know who said it. Somebody years ago said it was me that said it. I don't know if it was Rick or if it was Walt or Space Boy, but it was one of them. And then it just happened, and it was like it was on demand. It was incredible. Now, again, no videotape, but this year they're trying to make arrangements for this out at Contact in the Desert. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but they're trying to make this happen and get this into the schedule. 2 years ago, when I had the famous sighting out there with Rita and everybody out on Orion's Lookout, the green chrome ball, there was a film crew that was there and that videotaped it. The videotape is out there on the web. What is cool about the video, because I've seen it a few times, you can hear me on the PA system talking about it as it's going up, and I know that that's the same event because you can hear my voice and you can hear me describing it. And the cameras, and some multi-camera video too as well, of this thing going up into the stars now, but it was caught on videotape. So there may be a special presentation that is put together with the guys that shot the video, myself and a couple of other eyewitnesses that were there, and we want to break down the video and celebrate a little bit that this event went down. But and talk to the film crew. They were there. They saw it. I have not talked to them directly at all. I've always wanted to go back and talk to those guys, but and we're able to put this special presentation together. So if we do, and I think that it's very close to happening, and if we do, and you were there, you're going to want to come to this presentation and look at the video and share that memory with us and together, and we're going to go through this event. But again, it's very important to understand here, when I was just talking to Curtis, you need to support each other. After that event went down, it's very important. You need to support each other. When I'm talking about this Zorro thing, And I see this stuff pop up here on Twitter. Yeah, I was there. It was cool. That's because we are all able to describe the same event and talk about this. So going back to the famous green chrome ball sighting is this. That Monday, and I know that I've mentioned this before, but it bears it's worth repeating, which is this. When I spoke to Lisa from Coast to Coast that Monday, and she said, what do you want to do this Friday on Coast? Who's your guest? And I said, well, my guest is me. And she said, explain, what's going on. And I told her about the event. She said, that's exactly what you should do. And I think that's important, and that's amazing. And I wanted to do this. I wanted to go on Coast for the Coast audience, and Fade to Black too as well, of course, because I talked about it numerous times on Fade to Black, to let the UFO community know that these events happen. And when they do, and you have witnesses, speak about it. Talk about it. For a lot of so many different reasons that I could have done the opposite. I could have not talked about it on the air. I didn't care. I wanted everybody that was on the edge of that cliff that night to hear me go on Coast and on Fade to Black and talk about this in public, so that when they are telling their friends, I was there, I saw this, and now go listen to Jimmy Church. He is talking about this right now. He was there, right? That's what's most important. Rita and I were walking off the hill after having this amazing evening up there with everybody. And we're walking down off the hill, and I'm serious about this. I turned to Rita. This is Rita and I, our private conversation. And I said, honey, if Wolf Blitzer, if Anderson Cooper was up here with us right now, would they go on the air and talk about it? And she said, no, of course not. And you know what? She's right. They wouldn't, even though they had hundreds of people standing around them, right? Witnesses. And you see it with your own eyes. They're not going to go and do it. And it was at that moment I knew that I was going to turn around and go public with this. And that's the truth. And that's what needs to happen here. So, Curtis, again, it's just a story. Right? It's just a story. When you have witnesses, it's not just a story anymore. You have witnesses. I just saw the post that went by. Witnesses are good enough in court, right? Why isn't it, in UFO stuff that everybody has got to have, all of this evidence and physical traces and stuff? And I totally agree with that. It's a little bit hypocritical, isn't it? Now, before I get back to the phones, I wanted to say this. When I was I just told that fish story, right? That really happened, by the way. But when I was young, and I was down in Panama, and we were in the canal zone, and we were on this boat. Our neighbor had a sailboat, and my dad was with us. It's my dad and the neighbor, who was like another sergeant. And so it was the three of us on this boat, and we're sailing. I got the wheel. Right, so I'm at the back. I got the wheel. My dad is on the front of the boat, on the bow, sitting on the inside of the jib. He's got his back to the jib, and he is facing Panama. To the left, which on the port side, behind my father, is just open Pacific Ocean, all the way to the horizon. And we're just chugging along and sailing at a pretty good clip. I'm on the back. The owner of the boat is down below. He's below deck, and he's like in the galley, maybe getting sandwiches or something. But I can see down below deck, and I can see him, and I can look forward, and I can see my dad, who's facing starboard. He's facing to the right with his back to the sail. Now, behind all of this, off to the port, off to the left, out about a quarter mile, this manta ray, this giant stingray, comes out and catches the water. He's facing us. And it's massive. It's like 30 feet across, as big as the boat that we are on. And he catches the air. I could look right down his mouth. I could see the ribs of his body through his mouth. I could see the ribs. It was nuts with these things, just massive. Comes up, catches the wind, floats in the air, coming towards us, and then goes back down in the water. Lasted for a couple of seconds. It was the craziest thing. One of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. It was just unbelievable, majestic, huge. Now, it's now gone. It's gone. It's now underneath the water. So I'm stuck. I can't. I was so stunned. I didn't yell. Now what do? Hey, Dad, I just saw this, but now it's gone, and this manta ray. Well, it's a story. Our neighbor who owned the boat, who's down below deck, I didn't yell. I didn't say anything. It's now gone. Do I tell them? No. It's just a story. I never told them what happened. It was my own little thing, my own little event, but it's just a story. So what do I do with it? Where do I go with it? I don't know. So I can tell the story here on the air, but I don't have any evidence. I don't have any proof. It was as big as the boat. Okay, well, that's a good story. But, that's all I've got. And it's the same thing with UFOs. It's the very same thing. I've seen stuff, my little story when I was alone in the condo, that little dude was there. It's just a story. I don't have any proof. I know what I saw. So just like Curtis just said, and I really do, I want to drive this home to everybody, just like Curtis just said, you need to listen to other people. When they have their experience and they were alone, they didn't have a camera, they didn't have a videotape, but they saw what they saw, listen to them. And especially if you've had your own experience, right? If you've had your own experience, that's the most important part. So there you go. All right, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I've got a couple of things I wanted to run by you that escaped me over the last few days. And one of them is this story that broke last week, and it hasn't come back into the media, but it was about a Canadian man who disappeared from a New York ski resort last week, prompted a mass search, and was found safe in Sacramento last Tuesday. Now, according to the New York State Police Department, he was wearing the same heavy ski gear that he had on when he went missing. His name was Danny Philippiditis. He's a Toronto firefighter, and he made contact with Sacramento area officers and told them that he was alive and good health, was able to call his wife and use a secret word or nickname or something so she knew it was actually him. And now he was at the Whiteface Mountain Ski Resort in Wilmington, New York, where he was last seen. And the trippy thing is, he was with his friends, and he told them, look, guys, I just want to take one last trip. I want to get one last run down the mountain. So he takes off, and we've all done this, right? Skiing. You want to take one more run. So that's what he did, and he never came back. Now, apparently, I've been trying to get a little bit more news on this. Apparently, he was dropped off, he thinks, by a truck driver in Sacramento. Doesn't remember the trip out, doesn't remember riding, doesn't remember anything. And one has to ask, the story that was going around on the web was that, he was teleported. I don't know how somebody goes from Wilmington, New York to Sacramento, California, and doesn't have a memory about it, and wears the same clothes the entire time. Everything comes into play here: eating, bathrooms, and all of that. How did that happen? And he doesn't have any recollection of any of it. And it's a pretty crazy story, and there's nothing else to it. It just kind of went away. The other part of the story was would there be any charges filed? Did he do anything illegal? I don't think he did. If he did it on purpose to freak everybody out and to scare everybody and do it for attention, then who's going to pay for the search and the police and the helicopters and all of that, which probably amounted to quite a bit of money. So there was that part. But he doesn't remember anything at all. It's a crazy story. And so if you guys have any updates on it, let me know, and I will check out Twitter and see what I can do with this. What's this, Rita? Many more Gobekli Tepes to come? Did I miss the first part of this? Because that actually looks pretty good right there. Tequila shots with lime. Are you guys toasting for something that I don't know about? Okay, all right. And then there is this. Before I hit the break, and I'll get to the phone calls after the break. This is such an important story when this broke a couple of years ago in 2014. But 2 weeks ago, remember the Slender Man case, right? Okay. Well, that happened in 2014 when these two girls were 11 and 12 years old. But a judge sentenced 15-year-old, the older one of the two, to 40 years in a mental hospital after she, along with the other girl, her friend, admitted that they tried to murder a classmate in order to please Slender Man. Morgan Geyser, that's her name now, pleaded guilty in October to attempted first-degree intentional homicide in accordance with the plea deal to avoid serving time in prison. In 2014, Geyser and Anissa Weir were sentenced in December to 25 years in a mental health facility, lured their classmate, Peyton Leutner, into a wooded park in Waukesha, and stabbed her several times with a kitchen knife. All three girls were 12 years old at the time. Now, the girls left Leutner for dead, but she managed to crawl out of the woods and attract help from a passing bicyclist. Now, both Weir and Geyser said that they felt that they had to kill Leutner to become Slender Man's proxies or servants and protect their families from him. 40 years in a mental hospital. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yes, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Who's calling?
This is Frankie Fourfingers.
Oh, hey, Frankie. How are you, man?
Good. Hey, you were mentioning about people calling in and maybe, doing their experiences. I think I might have mentioned them before, but I'd like to let you hear about them again if you want.
Yeah, which experiences?
Well, on UFO sightings, the first one we saw was with my brother and I back on my dad's farm. We were watching satellites at the Perseus meteor shower.
Right.
That occurs in August. And we're just, we keep track of how many satellites and how many meteors that we see. And we're watching this one satellite. It's heading north. And the next thing you know, it turned 30 degrees sharp. Not a gradual bend. It was a sharp turn and headed east.
Wow. And so it was, so this is, Frankie, when I hear stories like this is what I find the most fascinating. When you are describing something going north, that would be a polar orbit for a satellite, which is rare. Okay, polar orbits are rare. And the satellites that are doing polar orbits are doing it for a reason, but they're mainly, if you think about it, they're not over land as much, but they're over the north and south poles. So there's something going on if it's military, right? If it's right. So to be in a polar orbit, it's special and it's rare, and it's also difficult because it goes against the gravity, right? So going the other way around the equator is different. It's easy to hold that stationary and geostationary and hold a position and so forth. But a polar orbit is different, and it's rare. So if you see something in a polar orbit, it's probably not a satellite. If you see something going north, like when we were up at ECETI, you and I, and we were watching those objects that were going to the north, what is that? You know, what is that? Somebody explain something to me. Going in the other direction, east-west, we can figure that out. Well, it logically, there's answers for it if it is a satellite. But it's something going north and then turns in the sky, that ain't a satellite, man.
Well, you brought up ECETI. The second one I saw was when I was up there with you guys at ECETI. Same exact thing. It was going north, and next thing you know, it went to a 20, 30 degree to the right turn and headed off to the east. It's same type of situation.
Do you remember up at ECETI when Mark Walsh and I caught off to the left, which would be to the west, that stationary planet that was out there, and then it lit up and took off like a dragster?
Yep. I saw that as soon as that. I followed it right before it lit up, and then it poof.
Now, somebody see. This is the thing. I'm so glad that you're on the air with me, and you were there with us to share this experience. I'm going to explain this to the audience very quickly. I see this bright planet off to the west, and I didn't notice it before, and I'm looking at it for a second. I turn to Mark, and I go, check that out. And it was just a oversized, really bright thing out there in the sky, but it was really bright, and it was just sitting there still. And so we just kind of watched it for a couple of minutes, and we got other people looking at it, and it's just sitting out there in the sky, and then it just lights up, and then takes off low. It didn't take off into the sky. It stayed close to the planet. I don't know how to explain it. And disappeared.
About like parallel with the ground. It didn't
parallel.
Descent. It
right.
Just kept on that same track.
Parallel to the ground. Like a dragster, like the NHRA, man. It just lit up and just took off. How crazy was that? Was that amazing?
That was really crazy. And then the other one that we saw to the north, this was a separate one. It was one that was screaming from east to or west to east, and I have never seen one go this fast for it. It had to be like 4 or 5 times faster than any satellite or object I've seen going in the sky. I mean, it was screaming. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't re-entering. It just kept on going. It was just a speed demon heading off to the east.
Yeah, and see, you're a pilot. You know, you've seen everything. It's what you do, right? And when you see stuff like this as a pilot, that's one thing from the ground. But what about if you're up in, you're in a plane and you guys see this? Do you experience the same stuff?
The type of job I was in, I really never paid attention because we had our minds set onto what we're doing.
Right.
So it was like, you might have seen some few things. I seen Northern Lights under goggles. I seen, a lot of weird things under goggles, but you just, your mindset of doing the mission, what you're doing. And it was search and rescue is what we did at night. So it never occurred to me. So.
Right. Well, I want some more pilots to come on. You had a friend of yours come on and talk about his sighting, which was still pretty incredible. But
yeah, he has another one. He has another story, but it's a little touchy one. It has to do with 2 guys in a black suit, type scenario.
Right. Well, Frankie, thank you so much. And you're going to be at Contact in the Desert?
Going to be at Contact. We're going to be at ECETI with the Mini Winnie Winnebago up there with the roast beef sandwich for you.
I can't wait. I want extra thick Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese this time. Do you like mustard and horseradish?
You can't have a roast beef sandwich without horseradish. and sautéed mushrooms and sautéed onions.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you, Frankie. We'll see you in contact, man. I can't wait to see you and the family. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome, sir, and you have a good night, and watch out for deer.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Frankie.
All right, see you. Good night.
Have a great night. Frankie Four Fingers. This is Fade to Black, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Open lines. More of your phone calls next.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Telling fish stories. Gotta love it. Open lines right now, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. On hold, I have Heidi Neal right here over in the UK. I'll bring her in just a second. But it's funny. I'm watching these quotes. Does the fish get fish story true? Yes, but does it get big over time? It's the first time I ever told the story, so therefore it has never gotten bigger. We'll see when I tell it the next time. And everything gets bigger over time. I have always, when I have described each of the events that I have seen, both with myself and Rita and friends and everything, there's nothing really to expand or get bigger or anything. It is what it is. And like with the green chrome ball sighting, that's on videotape, man. I can't, so the length of time and how big and what happened, the story is there. It's on video. There's too many witnesses. I can't change the story. Well, I would love to get it, more dramatic. There were windows and I could see E.T. in there controlling and pressing buttons. Nah, none of that stuff happened. All right, let's go to Heidi. Heidi, how are you?
I was just chuckling at that comment. It gets bigger over time, does it, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, see, you got to, see, this is what's really funny with that is all of Fade to Black is archived, right? It's all out there. Everybody can go and listen. So I can't embellish. I would like to. I would love to embellish. I can't,
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
All these rude connotations coming through here. Let's change the subject quick.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
I'm calling about the personal experience. I posted it on Twitter to you. When I was out with Bill Skywatcher in May last year, he took me up to Nuclear Lake with Al Santariga, I always say his name wrong, from the Bronxville Paranormal Society. Right. We went up to Nuclear Lake, and it's a hotspot for all sorts. There's Bigfoot sightings there, there's UFOs coming out the lake, and there's a heck of a lot of paranormal activity. So we're walking through the forest, and it's daylight, so I'm being all brave, step forward, spirits, come and talk to us, da-da-da-da.
Right.
And, confident. And we went back later on in the day and posted the video because Bill was filming and I was filming. And we were at a particular spot where Al was picking up some energy in the forest. And we didn't hear anything at the time. And on the video that I posted, you can clearly hear me talking to Bill. And it wasn't until Bill posted it later on in the evening that one of the Sky Watchers on Bill's YouTube channel messaged him and said, Bill, look, do you realise you've got an EVP on your video? And, of course, this was in the evening, and I was sitting in his dining room, and I could hear this almighty scream come from where Bill was sitting watching this video. And literally, it was a girl scream. Sorry, Bill, I know you're poorly, but it was very funny. Right. And he played this thing, and I'm not kidding you. When you hear something that you're involved with that wasn't you, and you couldn't hear it with your own ears, literally we were running around his. It's the most spine-chilling EVP I've ever heard. And I don't know whether you can play it. I queued it up. Well, I didn't queue it up. I've posted the video, but it's literally the audio. But I'd love to hear people's opinions on it. I'm trying to get it analysed by some paranormal experts.
Okay, Heidi. Where is it posted right now?
Yes, I just I tweeted to you. I wanted to put it in chat in comments here, but you haven't accepted me on this.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, hold on. Let's fix that right now in real time.
It's a YouTube video, but as I say, you only want it for the audio. So if you skip my intro bit, it's only 58 seconds with my intro, so it's not long.
Okay. Let me accept your Skype. When did you send me a Skype request? Send me another one right now.
Well, on this channel. Well, I'm on with you, so it should. Hang on, let me just.
Okay, well, hold on. Okay, I've got it. Okay, go ahead. Now send it to me now.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you on your one.
Hold on. I'm looking for your Skype request. I can't find it.
Well, it's on this number here. I've sent it to you on your one. There we are.
Okay, there we go. Let me open this one up. Oh, is that it there? Okay, I got it. Okay, so let me do this.
In sort of like, I don't know, it's about 20 seconds or something.
It's 20 seconds in?
About that. It's the intro.
Okay, let me see here. 20 seconds, you say?
Just after this intro.
Okay.
Poison
Oh,
ivy
here it is.
too. All right, I'm going to put my camera down a second. When
Bill.
something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you could feel them.
Yep. Can't hear them though, so that means
Did you put spray at all, Al? No.
Did you hear those?
Yeah.
The two bits.
Yeah, what, hold on.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you could feel them.
Yep. Can't hear them though, so that means not the
Did you put spray at all, Al? No. Almost like Blair Witch.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you could feel them.
Yep.
Let me back it up right to here.
Poison ivy too. All right, I'm going to put my camera down a second. When something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you could feel them.
Yep.
Did you...
Can't hear them though, so that means not the
Did you put spray at all, Al? No.
Did you hear it when you were...
No, I would not have been still standing there if I'd have heard that in my ear. And Bill's camera was literally about, he put it down because we were spraying the mozzie spray. So he put the camera down on a tree that had fallen over, about 2 foot in front of him, and I was about 3 foot to the side of him. So there's no way.
Right.
There is no that came from either of us. I mean, and people are still, this is what I'm saying, when you were saying about personal experiences, yeah, okay, we documented that. But still, people are insisting that was me. And I can tell you now, if I heard that in my ear, you would not have seen me for dust. For dust.
That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Heidi.
It's creepy as hell. And then when we got back, as I say, we analysed it. And later on in the evening, I was packing up to go to bed and put my laptop. I went into the bedroom to put my laptop by the bed, come back and turn the lights off, which is like, I don't know, 7 foot from the bedroom to where my laptop was. Bill and Ma had gone to bed, already just gone to bed. So from me taking my laptop from his dining room table into the bedroom and coming out to switch the lights off, his TV had turned on its own. Oh! My God.
Well, and you can tell at the moment that happens, you can hear you off in the distance. You're not even close to the camera.
Exactly. But people are still insisting, "Oh, that's." I was not. And people that know me would know that I would have legged it. I would not have been there. I would have been back at that car quivering.
Yeah, and it does sound female though.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going to play it again. That's pretty cool. That's well done. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to put my camera down a second. When something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you could feel them.
What's? It sounds like Bill.
Yeah, it is. Twice. She says it first after Blair Witch, and then after I say the mozzies are out in force.
Right.
And he says, yeah, you couldn't feel them. And then there's another one, Bill. There's another one, but it's this really, really faint, and no one can work out what it is. But yeah, that's a Class A EVP for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's well done, Heidi.
It was our experience, and people are always going to doubt. And as I say, I'm desperately trying to get it professionally. I've got a couple of guys. I'm going to ask Barry Fitzgerald if he can analyse it because he's got all the proper equipment.
Right.
I've sent it to a guy that I went ghost hunting with a couple of weeks back, and he has also got that the same equipment. It needs to be isolated really, and a voice analysed. A snippet taken of my voice. But we tried to replicate it when we got back to Bill's house as well, and we couldn't. Trying to get the layout the same way, even though we weren't in the same sort of circumstances in the forest. But we tried to replicate it with me saying Bill, and it just no way. It's not in a million years.
Yeah.
And as I say, you know, it terrified the shiz out of both of us when we heard it.
Yeah,
but
because, the thing is, Heidi, you guys know where you were, you know what you're doing, you know, and you know your conversation, and you go back and you listen to this, and there's a fourth or third person there that wasn't there when you were there. That's pretty trippy. That's pretty trippy.
Bill likes to play it. He plays it on the show every now and then, and he knows he does it on purpose now. He knows that I mute it because it sends shivers down my spine every single time.
Now,
and you have to give Bill a shout out, bless him.
I know. That's where I was just going. Did that happen today?
Yes, it did. He did a short video when he got back from the hospital. He sounded like he was on some major medication. It was quite funny. But yeah, he's all strapped up and pain medded up to the eyeballs. But he's home. They sent him home straight away. He's got to ice it up and he's resting up. So you know what Bill's like, though. He won't rest up. He's going to be producing on Sunday like he always does.
Yeah, he will. He'll do it with his good arm for sure.
Bill, he's a trooper. But yes, he said thank you to everybody that's sending him wishes.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I just thought I'd share that, and it would be great if I could have some feedback. If anybody knows anybody that can analyse that. Bill's got the original footage, obviously, the original audio, because that's taken from his film, his video camera. Mine didn't pick it up. It was just, I think I'd stopped mine, and literally I continued recording literally seconds after that, which is a bit of a shame because that would have been great if we could have had the two together.
Yeah.
We caught some more stuff as well. We caught a ghost train as well, a phantom train.
Well, EVPs freak me. Yeah, EVPs freak me out, and they really freak me out when they're female or kids. You know, that just really sends the chills down. Hey, do me a favor and make sure Ian gets in touch with me. Will you do that?
Yes, of course I will. Of course I will. Definitely. He'll be gutted. It's for the first time he's got a job tomorrow. I think it's just an off-the-cuff job because he's saving to come out on a trip. I can't tell you too much, but it's going to be quite big. It's a ghosty one.
Is he coming out? Is he coming out to contact again?
We're working on it. We're working on it in inverted commas as a pair. Look out.
Okay. Well, we'll see you then. I can't wait.
Hope so. All right. Lovely to speak to you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Heidi. Be safe and be well.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Heidi Neal, all the way from the UK, right there. That's some pretty good stuff. I'm going to play it again. Here we go. It's right here. So and now, what you can't see the video, but you see Bill, and so everybody's walking around. You can see them out front after.
Poison ivy too, and all right, I'm gonna put my camera down a second. When something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Wow.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you can feel them.
Yep.
Wow.
Can't hear them though, so that means did you put spray at all, Al? No.
That's pretty good. I don't know. Man, you know what? That's worth playing again. Okay, so I'm going to play it again so you can hear the two Bills. You can hear Heidi talking off. Now, I'm listening to it in stereo with headphones on, so I don't know if you can tell, but you can hear in the stereo placement, Heidi's voice is out here, Bill's voice is over here. The Bill happens like right on. It's right on because you can hear Heidi talking over here, and the Bill comes right in. Okay, so there's two of them. Here we go.
Poison ivy too, and all right, I'm going to put my camera down a second. When something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Right there.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you can feel them.
Yep.
Wow.
Can't hear them though, so that means did you put spray at all, Al?
That is really creepy. Man, that is worth. I got to do this again. Okay, so there's two. Now, again, I hope you guys can hear the placement of the voices where you can hear Bill, you can hear Heidi, but the Bill is right there. It is right up on it. Okay, here we go.
Poison ivy too, and all right, I'm gonna put my camera down a second. When something happens, it's almost like Blair Witch.
Yeah, the mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, you can feel them.
Yep. Can't hear them though, so that means
Did you put spray at all, Al?
No.
That is really good. Wow, man. Okay. What do you think of that? Give me a call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, it's Joe Roop. I just want to clear something up, Jimmy.
What's up?
I said, this is what I said. I was talking to John Polk, and I said, we were talking about night vision goggles. And I said, yeah, I heard Jimmy Church talking about that one time, and this is what I said. I said, but Jimmy has a way of telling stories that make everything sound so cool. He could talk about two birds sitting on a fence and make it sound cool. So that's what I said. I want to make sure that everybody knows it was a positive statement.
No,
you got good storytelling ability.
Yeah, man. Hey, I took that the right way. Trust me. But you know what's fun? You know what's really funny? It sounds to me like you were telling Reverend Polk that he needs to brush up on his storytelling. That's what I got out of it.
I wouldn't do that live on the air. Never.
I'm just messing with you, man. How are you?
I'm good. But that's the thing. I mean, storytelling, I mean, it's audio. So when you tell us about an experience that you had that other people were there, you know, I'm like, yeah, we saw a UFO and it flared.
And you stop, right?
Wow, right? Yeah, right. When you tell it, you've got this ability to bring people there, and I think that's a special trait, you know, especially for radio. It's good.
Well, you know, and thank you for pointing that out, because the reason for that, and I'm not kidding here, Mr. Roop. Let me be very serious. When I was a kid, very young, you know, 8, 9, 10 years old, when my parents got me an AM radio for my you know, my nightstand, and I would listen to AM radio all night long, these talk shows, you know, what was on, but you get sucked in, right, with these guys telling these stories and these experiences, and you're young and you're imagining the story. And you get that magic of radio, which goes all the way back to the 30s and 40s. You know, the shadow knows, right? So, right. You know, and you listen to that stuff. That magic that went down for me. I want the same thing today, because it's still the same. We have technology. We have all. You know what? But still, the experience of that, the cinematic way of being able to paint the picture for the audience is still the same. The effect is still the same, and I want to be able to do that. You know, I want everybody to get sucked in and let your imagination go, so you can you can be there and be part of it.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, internet radio, a lot of people say it's dying or whatever. That's not true at all. KGRA set the standard for digital broadcast, and it's still setting the standard for digital broadcast in this market. And I think that, man, if you can tell a good story around a campfire, you can tell the truth about it, and other people were there. It's captivating, and it's beautiful. I miss it. I hope it does come back, and I think it is coming back pretty strong.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, we all know, and if nobody has gone and listened to the Mel's Hole, the first phone call into Art Bell with Mel, that is the perfect example of as good as radio can get. Right there, Mel's Hole. And I remember going back, I don't remember, but I think I probably did. I probably listened to it live, right, when it went down. And then I remember going back, maybe it was on that part doesn't matter, but I went back and listened to it a second time about a year later. And then again and again and again. And now I've probably listened to Mel's Hole. I listened to all, because I think he called in like 3 nights in a row. And I've listened to all of them. And that storytelling, the way that went down is exactly what radio should be. Right there. It was just radio magic. And you're right, with Blog Talk Radio and all of the internet radio that's out there, the advice that I would give to anybody is, you got to go back and listen to some of the things that were great and what made it great. What made it great? Go back and listen to that. And then if you are able to get the imagination of the listener connected with your brain, right? What you saw, that entire experience, if you can get that into the listener's head, you win, right? And that's what happened with things like Mel's Hole, David Adair, the first time he was on Coast to Coast. That radio magic, man.
Jason Quitt, when Jason Quitt came on your show for the first time, that I spoiled a gallon of milk and melted a whole thing of ice cream sitting in my car. I needed to go in the house, but I had my phone hooked up to the car,
right?
And I couldn't stop. I couldn't get away from it. So, I just wanted to clear that up, just to make sure, But yeah, love Fadernight, man. You're rocking it. Keep it up.
Thank you, man. How's the show going? How you doing?
Yeah, it's a hard road, man, but it's still fun.
It ain't easy. You got to keep your foot on the gas. When somebody comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing," and so. How do I do it, man? Is it easy? You're going to scare them off when you tell them about how much work you actually put into this. They don't understand.
Yeah, I got the old caved-in eyes. It's starting to happen to me. And I don't get enough sleep, Yeah, but
there you go. Who do you have on? Who do you have on the show this week?
Well, next week I'm going to have Nick Redfern coming on Saturday. I'll be on Space Out Saturday with Lori and Fenton, but next week Nick Redfern's going to come on and we're going to talk about the Slender Man.
Oh, his new book.
I just
got it in the mail. There's somebody else right there, Nick Redfern. He is able to paint that picture for people.
Yeah, he does. He's the man. He really is. And God bless Cortana for giving me a shout out too. She's down with the sickness right now, but she's still hanging in there and listening every night. So.
Oh, there you go. Thank you so much, Joseph and Gordon Root, man. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
All right, take care, brother.
Yeah, have a great night. And I've got to head towards a break right here, so let's go ahead and squeeze that in. It is Fader Night. We've got one last segment to the show, so we'll do that next. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Heidi Neal with the EVP coming in strong. Just absolutely amazing. EVPs freak me out. All right, phone lines are open. Take more phone calls next. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter,
but listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of. Ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, tweeting. You guys are watching me, tweeting during the break. Rita just posted up the rankings right now. Clyde Lewis is number one. Michael Savage, that's a replay. John Batchelor, I don't know if he's live right now, but we're live, so we're right there at number 4. But we're ahead of Fox News. Fox News Talk Radio. That's all I care about. Right there. Live right now. Thank you for posting that, Rita. I haven't checked that in a while, those rankings, but that's really cool. Okay, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's Fadernight. It is open lines all night long, and if you're on hold, stay right there, but let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Wow. It's Abraham. Abrahamlet.
Hi, Abraham. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I'm so happy I got through. This is my first time.
Yeah, there you go, man. So what's on your mind tonight, Abraham? How you doing?
Well, I was just so amazed that you actually featured me the other night, doing my thing. You remember?
I do. Yeah, well, how could I not, man? How could I not? It was a great picture, and it was cool hanging out with you. So, you had to be. You had to be there. So, and you were. So what's on your mind tonight, man? What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to familiarize you with the crazy synchronicities in my life. As you know, my name is Abraham, and I was born within a block of where Abraham Lincoln gave a speech that won him the election in 1860.
And is that why you have the name Abraham?
No, I was named after my grandfather on my mother's side.
Oh, so he wouldn't have been named after Abraham Lincoln because he was probably born before him.
Well, yeah, but that's really not what I'm getting at.
Oh,
I'm talking about all the synchronicities that link me to Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, like what?
Well, my birth address, 14 St. Mark's Place in the East Village. You ever been there?
No. Where is it?
In New York, Greenwich Village.
Oh, of course I've been to Greenwich Village.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got the West Village where my aunt lived, and I lived in the East Village on St. Mark's Place, just next door to a famous jazz bar called the Five Spot.
Right.
And if I gave you a 5 spot, what did I give you?
$5 bill.
Right. And who's on the $5 bill?
Bill Clinton.
Hopefully not.
Hold on. I know this one. $5 bill. Jimmy Carter.
No, Jimmy Church.
Oh, no. Oh, the $5 bill. Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. So the owner of that famous jazz bar where Charlie Mingus and people like him played, you like Charlie Mingus?
Love Charlie Mingus. Charlie Mingus.
I met him.
Did you really? He had have you ever seen the documentary called Mingus about his school? You ever see that documentary?
No, I haven't.
You should check it out. No, you should check it out. It's a PBS film, and it's absolutely incredible. The PBS crew followed him around through his school as it was closing down. I don't know if it was the IRS or somebody was coming after him, but but okay, so that part of the film is it's sad and it's melancholy, but the him sitting down and talking about how he plays and how he writes and having him sit at there's a few different instruments that were there in the school, and he goes through and he talks about all of that. This is my famous upright bass, and there's this, and there's this piano, and it's just an incredible documentary. So you should check it out. But anyway, so you're next to the 5 spot.
Oh yeah, and so the owner of the jazz club must have known that Abraham Lincoln gave that speech at the Cooper Union Architectural School. And I met Charlie Mingus, and I want to tell you the experience that I had with him, all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
A friend of mine, Jerry Boxer, introduced me to Charlie Mingus at this Engagé Cafe on 10th Street facing Tompkins Square Park. And let's see. And when he introduced me, I said, "Oh, hello, Charlie." He said, I saw a long leather case that he had. And I said, "Oh, is that the bow for your bass?" And he said, "No, that's the bow for my bow and arrow set." And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "No," he unzipped the case, and he showed me. It was a bow and his bow and arrows.
That's funny. That's funny. What was he like? What was Charlie Mingus like?
Well, he was playing chess at the table, and that was the only incident really that I had with him. And I never saw him again, even though I hung out regularly at the Engagé. I was the dishwasher there for a while.
Wow. Okay, give me some more synchronicities.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. So about 45 years later, that would have been, and 1994, it just slipped my mind.
That's okay. 1994 is good. We'll go with that.
What? No, that's not enough. There's a lot more to. Oh yeah. Anyway, I went to DeWitt Clinton High School, and 45 years later, I'm in Borders Books upstairs at the Civil War section, and this book summons me, and it says Abraham Lincoln at Cooper Union. So I opened the first page, and it said, having returned from neighboring DeWitt County in a town called Clinton. And I went to DeWitt Clinton High School.
Wow. Okay, these are synchronicities. These are real.
Yeah, and I was in a Civil War movie. I was only supposed to be an extra in this movie, Andersonville. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that, but I think I'm going to have to now.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a good movie. And see, when I graduated high school with honors, I was awarded 2 tickets to a Broadway show. And the show is named The Andersonville Trial, with George C. Scott as the prosecuting attorney. You know, and 45 years later, I'm in the movie Andersonville. Only supposed to be an extra now, but you get to the 6th scene with the title. You know, what am I? Anyway, the title of that part is Andersonville, so that's the title of the film. And I was only supposed to be an extra, but there I am when I get the movie. There I am on the left among this group. And then you see half of my face. And I don't know if you notice, I have a birthmark on the left side of my face.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you see first. Then you see my whole face. I'm the feature for about, it was only 2 seconds, but still, you know, if I had pushed it, I probably could have not paid for it.
Abraham, man, you're all right. You're all right. And it was great hanging out with you at the Conscious Life Expo. And I'm glad that you caught that little feature and you're forever emblazoned. And how do I want to say this? You're archived on the internet forever. Thank you so much, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. So nice to talk to you.
It's good to hear your voice again. And that's Abraham, everybody. And in the video that we posted for the Conscious Life Expo recap show, there is Abraham featured right there. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah, here in the Pacific Northwest. I thought I'd go back to the Metatron thing.
Uh-huh.
If you don't mind?
Yeah, you can, but Phil, your phone is breaking up. But go ahead, back to Metatron.
So my research on Metatron, it seems like he's Enoch, and he was anointed with some oil, and that's how it became Metatron.
I always thought Metatron was the voice of God.
Well, but in the pantheon of angels, Metatron is Enoch, elevated to that realm.
Okay. Well, so this is. Oh, I see. Okay, it says according to the Jewish Bible, Metatron is the name Enoch received after his transformation into an angel. The book of Genesis is often cited as evidence of Enoch's bodily ascension into heaven. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. But it says here, derived from the Latin metator, which marks off a place, a divider and fixer of boundaries, a measurer. Metatron is the archangel and is known in Judaism as the recording angel or the chancellor of heaven. The name Metatron is not mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, nor is it mentioned in the early Enoch literature. How the name originated...
Well, in the book of Enoch, I think maybe it's not mentioned in there.
Well, it
I
says
think it is.
It says, although Metatron is mentioned in a few brief passages in the Talmud, he appears primarily in mystical Kabbalistic text with rabbinic literature. In that tradition, he is the highest of the angels and serves as the celestial scribe or the recording angel. Very interesting. And like I said, for me, Metatron, I didn't even know who Metatron was. Never heard of it until the film Dogma. And
very good film. A very good film.
You know, as far as when it, for those out there that think that they know the Bible, I think that's why Kevin Smith did the film and called it Dogma, in that there are certain things out there that most people don't know when it comes to religion, the Bible, the Old Testament, that you think you know the Bible, right? But there's certain dogma out there that has been out there for such a long time that the common things out there is what we know. And then you go and you watch Dogma and you start to make notes of these different angels and different names, and you've never heard these stories before. And Kevin Smith, to his credit, he really dug deep, man. And you go and you watch the film and you learn something about the Bible, I guarantee, that you did not know before. Or religious stories, I should say, too, as well. The Dogma. It's really well written.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of got me into looking at the whole issue. And, like, there's a Nag Hammadi text, the Dead Sea Scrolls, that we've never actually gotten all of them yet. Yeah, so you want to talk about a conspiracy, look into that one.
Yeah, there's two big ones right there. I don't know what the tally is lately. I've been trying to follow it over the years about how much of the Dead Sea Scrolls has actually been transcribed, okay, and how much of it has been actually made public. And the percentage is very, very low. Okay, it's very low.
Basically,
yep.
I'm going to tell you, basically, there's only one researcher that has managed to get some of the text that has released his findings. All the rest of them have hidden it. Now, that was back 10 years ago, so, I mean, it might have changed by now, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, and some of it is papyrus, some of it is copper, right? And so it's more permanent and it's easier to read and transcribe. I have heard. Now, this isn't official, it certainly hasn't been released out of the state of Israel, but that Jesus is mentioned. Now, if that is the case, then we've got something pretty groundbreaking in that, Jesus isn't mentioned anywhere except for, not in any Roman text or any court or any prisons or anything like that. There isn't anything official there in the history books from the Romans. So you would think that Jesus would have been mentioned there with all of this uprising and the things, and of course the court. And they kept massive documents with everything, with every prisoner, but Jesus wasn't mentioned. But if he's mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls, now what do we do here? Right? Because we've got the Jewish version of things, and we have Christianity and Catholicism, and we have the Jesus side of that. Now we've got a direct conflict. So what actually happens here? I don't know. And I'm not a religion. I'm not some historian when it comes to this. I'm more fascinated with the conspiracy side of it, and I would love to see the two of the battle it out. It would be pretty cool, especially.
Yeah, so I reckon another. If you want to know about the story, another good movie to watch is Man from Earth. And it postulates this guy that managed to live from the Cro-Magnon era.
I've seen that with Rita a few times. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah?
That's the one. He's a school teacher. He's a college professor. And,
right.
And they all get together in a cabin because he's got a big announcement to make and that he's leaving. And they all freak out, and then he sits down and he tells all of his coworkers, the other professors, that he's 50,000 years old, right? And
14,000, but
yeah, something like that. And then he packs up, and in the back of his pickup truck, he's got like a painting from Da Vinci or something, right? That's in the back of his pickup truck. Pretty.
Oh yeah, and the stone, the Nap stone, right, that he picked up in a shop, right?
Yes. That is a really, you know what? And it's called Man from Earth. And thank you, Phil, for reminding me of that. That is an underground film that was really low budget. They shot it for nothing. It's just shot in a cabin, right, with a bunch of actors.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. But
very simple, but it is the script and the screenwriting of Doom. Well done. Very well done from beginning to end. And so when he splits, right, and now they're all sitting around and they're like, man, did that just happen? You know, and as he's telling his story throughout history, right, this, and this, that he was Cro-Magnon. You're absolutely right about that. And how he survived disease, right, how he survived getting murdered or killed or went through wars and battles but managed to never die is pretty cool. But by the end, they've all bought into his story. They believed him.
Right, and then he. Well, I don't want to give away the whole movie in case somebody wants to watch.
Yeah, we did kind of kill it for him, didn't we?
The twist at the end is kind of because you're wondering all through it whether he was or he isn't, you know, and at the end it kind of goes, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Man from Earth. Yes, let's pull this up right here. 2007. Oh, it's called The Man from Earth.
Yeah,
college professors discuss many topics with a colleague who claims to be thousands of years old. You know what the budget was? $200,000. No. $200,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and it stars, let's go through this. David Lee Smith plays John Ullman, Tony Dodd, John Billingsley, Ellen Crawford, Annika Peterson, William Catt, Alexis Thorpe, right? You know, there you go. It's a total low budget, well made film, made for the art of it, and it's really, really, really well done. And thank you.
Did you say Billingsley?
Yeah, not Barbara Billingsley. I didn't say John Billingsley.
Well, because my mom said his family was Billingsley. Oh well.
Thank you for the phone call, Phil, and be safe.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I think I've talked about The Man from Earth before on this show, but if you haven't seen it, go and look it up. It is called The Man from Earth. I've got it pulled up here. 2007 American science fiction film written by Jerome Bixby, directed by Richard Schenkman. And it's right here. The screenplay was conceived by Jerome Bixby in the early 1960s and completed on his deathbed in April 1998, and widely distributed through the internet peer-to-peer networks, which raised its profile. The plot focuses on John Ullman, a departing university professor who claims to be a Cro-Magnon, or who secretly survived for more than 14,000 years. The entire film is set around Ullman's house during his farewell party and composed almost entirely of dialogue. That's exactly right. And the plot advances through intellectual arguments between Ullman and his fellow faculty members. This film I'm so glad that Phil brought this up. This film is a must view for everybody in this audience. I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to post this up in Twitter so everybody has got it. Just an absolute tremendous film. And let me get this up in Twitter. Boom, paste. There you go. And I can do this because it is now the end of the show. The Man from Earth. There you go. It's that simple. It's up. It's out. I'm about to click tweet. This is a must. You've got to see the film. Now, and what's interesting here, you've heard Jay Widener and I talk a lot about the Philosopher's Stone and alchemy and living for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And when you take that idea that Jay has put out there over the years, and we've talked about it a lot. Thank you. Oh, so it's up on Amazon? It's on Amazon Prime? There you go. Okay, so you can watch it for free on Prime. Rita, we're going to watch this tonight after we figure out the Donnie Darko question. We've got to get that going. But so it's up. And so after listening to Jay Widener, then you go watch this film. And you hear, I'm not going to give it away, but you hear how it is all put together. And the arguments that go back and forth, the debate about the possibility of this being true with other college professors, it's pretty cool. It's a definite must-watch for everybody that is a member of our audience. So there you go. That's going to wind down another Fader night here on Fade to Black. And tomorrow night, we've got a great week lined up next week, by the way. On Fade to Black, and we'll get that up and launched over the weekend, those announcements. I don't like to do those in advance. I like everybody to be surprised. So we've got a great week lined up. I do want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, I am over filling in for George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM. My guest tomorrow night is going to be actor Kerr Smith, who we introduced to everybody earlier this week on Fade to Black. He's going to be live with me in the Coast Studios tomorrow night. And we are also, because it's open lines over at Coast, we're going to be taking phone calls tomorrow night with Kerr, too, live in the studio. So you definitely are not going to want to miss that. And then Saturday night over on Coast, Jason Quitt and Brad Olson. And so Jason, who last month came on the show and talked about his accident that he had, breaking his back, and the titanium screws in his back, and the plates, and so forth, and how he healed himself. We're going to go through that. I think it's very important. And his book on Egyptian postures and the way that he healed himself. We're going to introduce the entire Coast audience to that, because I think the story and his experience and how he went through it is very important. So that's the first part of Saturday night. And then my second guest on Coast Saturday will be Brad Olson. And what Brad and I are going to discuss is the collision between science, Silicon Valley, and the tech world with our supernatural world, and how the two of them now are starting to bleed together. And with the help of Silicon Valley, the research, science, exoplanets, everything that is going on the official side of the fence is now starting to prove that things exist in the supernatural world. And that goes all the way across from parallel worlds to the question about ET, and how his alternative researchers and authors that he publishes are starting to push the boundaries on that side too as well. So we're going to discuss all of that, and you know what? We can't help ourselves. We'll probably throw a little bit of disclosure in too as well, and we'll open up the phones on Saturday night. So there you go. And then Sunday, I'm sleeping in. There you go. So that breaks down another week on Fade to Black. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight and tweeted. What a fantastic night on the show. Fadernauts are the absolute best. I love all of you. Best audience in the world. Fade to Black is produced by Rita Camurian. The show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovauer. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldridge. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight and tweeted. What a great show. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Until tomorrow night over on Coast to Coast, everybody be safe. Go Backley Tappy.